You have probably seen this before. When it gets dark, visibility in traffic is poor and dangerous for those on the road. Reflectors are often used to make things visible in the headlights of a car. In many countries, it is mandatory to have a reflective vest in your vehicle, in case you get stranded at night by the side of the road. So you have probably seen one, or even own one. But what is special about these vests? In order to understand how they contribute to our safety, let's first see how light typically behaves. Most materials have a behavior which is a combination of specular and diffuse reflection. A diffuse reflector rescatters light equally in all directions. Only a small fraction of the incident light returns to the source or to any particular direction. They are easy to spot in very bright light conditions, but hard to notice when it's dark. A specular reflector, like a mirror, bounces most light in a single direction, but at an opposite angle to the angle of incidence. The only way a mirror returns light back to the source is if it is perfectly perpendicular. On the other hand, a retroreflector reflects light back to the source, regardless of the incident angle. Let's say you are wearing a retroreflective vest at night, and a car approaches. The light from the car's headlamps is almost fully reflected by the vest back to the car. A perfect retroreflector would return the light straight back to the headlamp. But traffic retroreflectors are intentionally imperfect. As a result, they spread light into a small cone that covers the viewpoint of the driver. You appear very bright from the driver's perspective, even if the environment is very dark. So how do you make a retroreflector? There are two main ways of implementing retroreflection using classical optics. A corner curve retroreflector reflects light in three mutually orthogonal surfaces. A cat's eye retroreflector refracts and focuses light onto a reflective back layer. This can sometimes be seen in cat's eyes. The eye lens focuses the incoming rays, and the retina acts as a reflecting layer. Retroreflectors are not only used in safety vests. They are used in traffic signs, license plates, and even road paint. High-precision retroreflectors are frequently used to make distance measurements in space. And retroreflectors also play a major role in computer vision. In many applications, it is relevant to measure the 3D location of objects. Sophisticated sensors like laser scanners and infrared rangefinders can measure 3D directly, but they are expensive, fragile, or might not work outside reliably. An alternative approach is to use conventional cameras. If you see the same thing from two different eyes, you can compute 3D, but you must be able to identify the same point in the images. For the brain, matching points comes easily. For computers, it is very hard, particularly when images are taken from different perspectives at different times in different light conditions. Retroreflective markers are easy to detect and segment. They show up as very bright spots from any perspective. Therefore, they have been widely used for tracking motion of both rigid and dynamic bodies. Tracking of dynamic subjects, like people, is used in motion sciences and creating animation for games and movies. Tracking rigid bodies using markers performs particularly well in applications with high precision requirements in confined environments. They are already used in surgery to provide reliable position of tools to surgeons. They can also be used in dangerous scenarios, where tools need to be remotely controlled and positioned with accuracy, such as mines or nuclear reactors. Here, my PhD project comes in, reliable 3D tracking in safety-critical applications.